Parshas Emor and Sefiras Haomer. There's a double connection between them because one, Parshas Emor falls within Sefiras Haomer, between Pesach and Shavuos. But there's another connection. Sefiras Haomer is a mitzvah that is given to us in this week's Parsha. So as we'll see, there's a lesson to take from both. The Parsha begins with Emor el HaKohanim b'nei Aharon, that Hashem told Moshe to Emor el Kohanim, to speak to the Kohanim, the children of Aharon, ve'amarta lehem, and you should say to them. That sounds kind of repetitive. So you should say to the Kohanim and say to them. Why the double lashon? Why the repetitive language? And also, very often, we see the language of daber, ledaber, to speak, when it comes to Hashem telling Moshe to give over information to Aharon or the Kohanim or Bnei Yisrael. It often uses the lashon of daber. And here we have emor, to say. Daber means to speak, emor means to say. So it gives over the same idea, but it's a little bit of a different connotation, as we will see. So Rashi points out that the repetitive language, emor ve'amarta, means like this. Lehazhir gedolim al hakatanim, that the elders should warn the younger. That the older generation should teach these halachos to the younger generation. So it's not just that Moshe should give this over to the Kohanim, but ve'amarta, it's a double lashon, it's a repetitive language to show that it should be a continuous teaching, right? One generation to the next. It shouldn't end with your teaching, but it should be repetitive. So lehazhir, I translated it as to warn, but again, the connotation here means to teach, to educate, that they should let them know about these halachos. What is the goal of chinuch? What is the goal of education? The answer is lehazhir. Lehazhir comes from a word. The lashon is zohar. Zohar means to shine. Lehazhir means to make shine. The purpose of education, lehazhir gedolim al hakatanim, is that when the gedolim are teaching the katanim, the older generation is teaching the younger generation, or anybody in a position of chinuch, education in any way or shape or form, should give it over in a way that's lehazhir, that will make them shine, that will make them illuminate, and they will be lit up with Torah and mitzvos. They will be on fire with it. They will be passionate. So any of us who are educators in any capacity needs to ask ourselves, when we give over Torah, is it coming off in this way? Am I giving over Torah information, or am I making my students shine? Am I making them light up and be illuminated with Torah and mitzvos? And more, I think that the idea is that they should be shining. Their midos should be shining. Their qualities should be shining. Their observance of Torah and mitzvah should be in a way of shining and illuminating and making the world a brighter place. And they should be refined, beautiful human beings because of the Torah that they learned, which you'll see we're going to connect to something in a moment. But first I want to point out that why is it not daber? It's emor. Daber, to speak, is a harsher language. In Lashon HaKodesh, in Hebrew, the word daber is a harsher form of speech. Emor is soft. If we want to educate our children, our students, or be an example for others, it's not going to come across in a way of illuminating them if it's done harshly. It needs to be done in a soft way that they can receive. So, what's the connection between this and Sefiras Haomer? Well, we have the same idea. Sefiras Haomer, which again is in this week's Parsha, and we are in its midst right now. The command to count the Sefiras Haomer in this week's Parsha says, Usafartam lechem, and you should count for yourselves. Again, this language, lisaper, to count, the word has another meaning. And it's related to the word sapphire, sapphire, to shine. And in that sense, there is a double meaning to this command. And you should count for yourself also means, and you should make yourselves shine. The process of counting the Omer between Pesach and Shavuos, the 49 days of the Omer, is the process of working on ourselves to refine our character, to make ourselves shine, to make our character shine, so that our essence can shine through. Who we really are, the goodness of who we are, can shine through. We refine our midos in these 49 days towards Matan Torah to prepare ourselves for the receiving of the Torah, which tells you a lot about the Torah, right? If the whole preparation for receiving the Torah is self-refinement, is working on my character, right? What does that mean that the Torah is about? It's supposed to be something that makes our midos shine. Actually, it's even a prerequisite. Being a mensch is a prerequisite, which is why during this time we learn Pirkei Avos, which is about how to be a mensch. Because in order to receive the Torah, I have to be a mensch. In order to understand the Torah in a way that it will refine me and make me holy, I have to be a mensch. How do we refine our character in these 49 days, other than doing the Pirkei Avos and taking it to heart? Well, the Sefiros, the 7 Sefiros, the 7 emotional traits are Chesed, Gevura, Sefiras, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus. These Sefiros, again, you have the same word, sapir, sphira, to shine. Why? Because these 7 traits are within us, and they are a parallel to the Sefiros of Hashem. So these are 7 godly emanations, emanate, right, to shine forth, that the sun emanating light. God shines himself, meaning he reveals himself in these 7 ways. These are the emotional Sefiros. There are also Chesed, Chachma, Bina, Das, and together, which is the intellectual ones, and together there are 10 Sefiros. But the 7 emotional Sefiros of ourselves, which are parallel to God's Sefiros, is something that we work on throughout the Sefiras Haomer. How? Well, there are 7, and each one contains each of the others. So 7 in 7 is 49 days. And that's why by Sefiras Haomer, you may see in your siddur, it says Chesed, Shebechesed, Gevura, Shebechesed, Tefera, Shebechesed, and so on and so forth. Every week we work on one of the Sefiros. And every day we work on one Sefira within that Sefira. Now, if this sounds very complicated, lucky us, Rabbi Simon Jacobson made this incredible book, and it is also available as an app, to count the Sefira, and not only count the Sefira, but to understand what that particular day's self-refinement is all about. What does it mean to work on my Gevura Shebechesed? What does it mean to work on my Hod Shebetiferes? Well, you don't have to guess. Rabbi Simon Jacobson shows us 49 ways of working on ourselves through the Sefiras. And I highly recommend everybody, get the book or look up the app or get their emails from Meaningful Life Center, because this way that we refine ourselves, refine our midos, refine our character throughout the 49 days of the Sefiras Haomer is a beautiful preparation for the receiving of the Torah. And again, it's about sphira, sapir, making ourselves shine, lahazhir, to make ourselves shine, as well as others. Have a beautiful Shabbos.